What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population. Because if where we are, there's nothing else.
And do you have views about what should be done about that?
Can't you guess?
Please welcome Mr. Bill Gates.
We also face a new threat that the next epidemic has a good chance of originating on a computer screen of a terrorist intent on using genetic engineering to create a synthetic version of the smallpox virus or a contagious and highly deadly strain of flu. So the point is that we ignore the strong link between health security and international security at our peril. Whether it occurs by the quirk of nature or at the hand of a terrorist, epidemiologists show through their models that a respiratory spread pathogen would kill more than 30 million people in less than a year. And there is a reasonable probability of that taking place.
We've got to stabilize the population. When I was born, there were
so what's wrong with the population? I mean,
with too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff.
But
if there were less people, they'd be using less stuff.
The World Health Organization carried out a smallpox vaccination program in Africa, and it said that the purpose of the program, forget smallpox, it said in black and white, in writing, that the purpose of these vaccines, which create infertility, was to eliminate, and I quote, 150 million excess sub-Saharan Africans.
I can't really remember when I last had any hope. And I certainly can't remember when anyone else did either. Because really, since women stopped being able to have babies, what's left to hope for?
So, Human Project is having this dinner, and all the wisest men in the world are there.
Human Project? Why do people believe this crap? You know, even if these people existed with these facilities in secret locations, even if they discovered the cure for infertility, it doesn't matter. Too late. World went to shit.
Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
If your image of the person who preps for end of times is a lower income red stater who hoards gold and stores baked beans and water in his basement, think again. A recent report in the New Yorker magazine by Evan Osnos details how doomsday prepping for the super rich has taken hold among some of the wealthiest in America, from Silicon Valley to New York City. They trade tips via Facebook on everything from gas masks to how to avoid locations impacted by climate change.
Now you're laughing, Curtis. But we have tickets to go on a big ship. We will live and you will die.
Тихо, быстрым самолет.
Dancing construction workers, angels with giant heads, and whatever these things are. It's a surreal ceremony for the opening of what's been billed as Switzerland's construction of the century. Leaders from Germany, Italy, Austria and France joined Swiss President Johann Schneider-Ammann at the spectacle in Palleggio, Switzerland.
what amenities in that bunker?
Well, it's like a miniature cruise ship, Michael. It has everything from a rock climbing wall and a game arcade for the kids to continuing education classrooms, a library, a movie theater, a bar and lounge. It's got everything that you need to spread out and maintain some semblance of normal when things outside are anything but normal.
Just moments ago, that doomsday clock moved forward 30 seconds and now stands at 2.5 minutes before midnight. That's the closest to midnight, or the end of the world, as it's been in 64 years, showing that this panel has real concerns about what the future may hold.
The board takes the unprecedented step, the first time in its history, of moving the clock hand 30 seconds closer to midnight. Today, we move the clock a half minute closer to midnight. It is now 2.5 minutes to midnight.
We're talking about a metaphor. We're not literally minutes from the end of the world.
Well, it is a metaphor, but we are literally minutes away from a nuclear exchange should someone press a button.
We are concerned that the President of the United States is so unstable, is so volatile, has a decision-making process that is so quixotic that he might order a nuclear weapon strike that is wildly out of step with U.S. national security interests.
Vladimir Putin has announced Russia will beef up its nuclear arsenal this year.
This year, our nuclear forces will receive more than 40 intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of penetrating all existing missile defenses, even the most advanced.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
BBC is projecting a fatality toll ranging from 5 million to as many as 150 million in the next 6 to 8 months.
Anyone showing signs of a contagious illness will receive special treatment here. The airport's purpose-built quarantine center.
Quarantines have sparked civil unrest. Families are being ripped apart.
Containment is not very likely.
Prepare your families, know your evacuation route.
The survival rate is now approximately 1 in 500.
Violence erupted in the city center tonight, the third incident in as many days.
Martial law has been declared in 28 nations, including the U.S. and Canada.
The reactor is overheating. We can't stop a meltdown.
Our generator lost its power.
The collapse of anything resembling civilian order.
Due to the extremity of the simian flu crisis, all regular government functions have been suspended indefinitely.
Those who aren't killed by the virus will probably die in the fighting. So maybe this is it. This is how it ends pretty soon.